Okay, so you probably ask this yourself, like how and in what order you should watch the Reply series. And perhaps like me, you've watched Reply 1988 first and was wondering if it's worth giving the other two a shot. So now that I've watched all the series, I'd like to share what I think is the answer to that question. And yes, let's give this a spoiler-free watch guide. First, let's talk about what this series is all about. And just to make it simple, Reply series revolves around the story of friendship, family, and love. But it's not like most mainstream K-dramas that are almost always on the edge of life. Reply 1997 centers on romantic love. The main actors in the love triangle are obviously the focal point of the entire series. Reply 1994 was released next, shifting its focus to friendship instead. The show is set in a boarding house where the main character lives with the rest of the ensemble. Reply 1988 centers on family. We not only follow the main character or her group of friends, but all their parents as well. It is also important to note that everything from the trilogy hinges on the question, who will the main character end up with? In addition to that, Reply trilogy is a tribute to youth, like a slice of life. I mean, it doesn't stray too much from what real life has to offer, which what I loved about it. It's highly relatable because it's not so hard to empathize or to put your shoes in place of each characters in the series. This series also incites a strong feeling of nostalgia. And mind you, I'm not from South Korea, but since the series has a lot of Korean pop culture references, I got to see what South Korea was like before, with such detail in device on the production design, costumes, and soundtrack. I felt like I was transported to another era of another country. So to answer that question, yes, you could watch them out of order because majority of the time they won't be connected. However, I think you might miss some things along the way. There are some Easter eggs that you'd probably missed out on if you don't watch it according to the order of the year it was released. For example, in the spin-offs, some characters from the previous installments make cameos, especially that Shin Won-ho PD, the director of the series, is known to usually make cameo appearances of artists from his past projects. But you know what, I also think it depends on what kind of viewer you are. Like me, you probably watched 1988 first, followed by 1994 and then 1997. And coming from my experience, the presentation between 1988 and 1997 was huge. So watching 1994 between the two would be nice. It's like a bridge between the two installments. But please mind that by watching 1994, you will learn the husband's identity in 1997. Although personally I didn't mind it because out of all the series, I think 1997 has the most obvious endgame. And that covers what you need to know if you want to dive into the Reply trilogy.